to do. Oh, okay, thank you. And if everyone could maybe come a little closer, that way it'll be better for Erica, I think, and Nikki. And I'll try to. Susanna, thank you for doing
Oh,
that.
no problem.
Okay. So, let's get this party started here. All right, so tonight, we're gonna be discussing or reviewing, because I know that it's already been gone over before. But the Himalayan has a certain order of the poses, the sequence. And there's definitely reasons why it's that way. And if anyone would like to share or contribute to maybe give me what the sequence would be, like would anyone like to? Wow, I'm trying to find my words. Thank you. Okay.
One would be centering and warm up,
Mhm.
standing poses, abdominals, strengthening inversions, if we're gonna do those,
Mhm.
back bends, twists, seated positions, prone and or supine, forward bends, passive inversions, relaxation, breath, meditation,
Okay. And you guys, this is all in your book, so you don't have to write this down. But, okay, so the first thing would be centering. So what would be some of the benefits of centering? What's the reason that first, when we begin a class, an asana class, we want to just center? Anyone?
Dropping and then putting everything else. See, your focus on what you're doing.
Mhm. Yep, that's one.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said to focus.
Thank you.
I was thinking also that, we come in from out of the, out of the world into yoga or wherever we, if even in our home practice, it's great. It's, I know a lot of times I'm not present in my body, and it makes me remind myself, okay, here we are now in our bodies,
Yeah.
breathing.
It's like we've arrived, okay, we can let go. And physical tension too, I mean, you have a lot, like your days are busy. So, yeah, is there anything else that,
I describe it as sort of withdrawing from the grosser senses and then, just starting to move inward, not a complete withdrawal of the senses because you kind of have to keep.
Mhm.
what do you guys think? Anything you'd like to add, Nikki, Erica?
I think to note where we begin. So note if there are any physical things that we're working with that day or mental things we're working with, just kind of note where we begin our practice.
You're just preparing for the practice, preparing for the poses, and
Mhm.
just, so, yeah, so you guys got that. Okay, so the next thing would be warm-ups. So what would be our benefit for warming up? The next, so we're centering, we arrive on our mats, we're centering, then we begin to warm up, we begin to make some movements.
It's just like, I think of just preparing the body. So like with the Himalayan sequence and probably with other, traditions, it's about, being able to access the power center. So like the hips, inner thighs, low belly, low back. So that's what I think of. Yeah.
Warming up the muscles so you don't damage yourself.
Warming up, right, preparing
And
the
the joints
joints.
as well. Moving a little prana.
Yep, absolutely, all of those things, and just preparing for more, challenging poses, like I always like to slowly get into it, so you're centering, and you warm up, and then you know what's coming next,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all good, guys. So moving right along, we're gonna come into the standing poses. So what would be some of the benefits of us doing standing poses? So we've already centered, we've already warmed up.
Someone asked recently why we start, someone was questioning, why do we start with standing postures? And it gave me pause. And then I was thinking, because like you mentioned, working from the gross, those big muscles, and also it's grounding and centering, where I find the standing postures grounding and centering, which we're still toward the beginning of class, and it gives you more, a lot of muscle awareness. Where's my body in space? Kind of thing.
Yeah, it's powerful. They're powerful poses. For strengthening, the whole entire body when we're doing standing poses, really.
Mhm.
Anything else, you guys?
Balance.
Balance, yeah. Because standing poses, there's balancing poses there.
Mm.
And let's see, make sure we touched on everything. Well, we increase the warmth and energy in the body too. So, yeah,
We're still warming
we're
up.
still, yeah.
Okay.
So absolutely. And then our next poses would be the abdominal energizing and strengthening. So that would be after the standing poses, we do our abdominal poses.
Mhm.
So like the sequence tonight that I did, we did our standing poses and then we came down, we did Agnisara.
Mhm.
And then we came down and did some of the push-ups too, the core, working with the core. So, and there's still, that's still energizing and strengthening. So what else would you consider abdominals?
I think it's actually interesting, the sequencing that the abdominals are after standing, because I think of the abdominal work as like kind of preparation for balance, like because you're getting kind of centered in your core. It's not.
You mean like during warm-ups?
Sort of.
Yeah, and a
Well,
lot
I
of
mean,
times we do, we'll do some
Yeah.
abdominal work in warm-ups too.
And then really getting into the abdominal work. So when you're talking about that, are you talking about like when we went into Agnisara, or are you talking about like?
Agnisara, and then we
Okay.
came down and did the push-ups.
Yeah.
The kind of core,
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
into that. Sometimes we come into different sequences, sometimes come into boat pose, or fire series. I mean, we have,
So abdominals really, like you just said, fire series, so that really resonated with me, like.
Yeah.
This is the fire.
Yes.
Sequence
Yeah,
part of
your
the practice.
Agni, fire,
Yeah.
belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all
Right.
kind of related.
Right.
Yeah, so. How about you guys, anything you wanna add, or we wanna keep you included? I hope you can hear us.
Thanks. I have a clarifying question. So we're talking about the benefits of the sequence, right? Like why centering is first, as opposed to just the benefit of each of the pieces of the sequence, right? Am I getting that?
The benefits of the sequence, but then also the benefits of each breaking it down. What are the benefits of centering? What are the benefits of warm-ups? So yeah, the benefits of the whole sequence, and then the benefits of what, like energizing, like back bend. We'll get into back bends, they're energizing. So
Okay.
you know what I mean? We're talking about the benefits of the whole sequence, and then we're also talking about the benefits of each individual
Section.
section.
The way it is in the manual, it seems like it's the benefits of each segment that you do, rather than, it doesn't look like they really explain what is the reasoning
Did I
behind the
pass your
sequence.
book?
What page is that on?
It's 25.
Page
9.
25.
See, I just have the teacher manual,
Oh,
your
okay.
book. So,
Well, we're supposed to listen to you. so-
oh, that's okay.
What page were you
No,
on?
I don't want you to
Okay.
be confused.
It's on page 25 in our manuals and in our manual.
So we just wanted to basically revisit the HI recommended sequence. And then, and we've done a lot of this, so we don't have to really, we'll go through the last couple and then we'll go ahead and put together a sequence. So, yeah, we don't have to really, I mean, you guys know pretty much all of this, what twists do, what, back bends do, what standing poses do, but I thought we would, we don't have to have a big discussion on it. So we'll move past the abdominal and we'll go into, now see, this next one is active inversions. I don't really know of any classes. I mean, I guess some Hatha 2 classes do throw in an active inversion in there.
I have this
Down
memory.
dog is one.
What was that?
Down dog is one.
Down dog.
Mhm.
And I have this vague memory of Kate saying, I would have to clarify with her that at some point, HI reorganized the sequence.
Mhm.
So they broke out the inversions into active and restorative.
Restorative.
But it's just a very vague memory.
Yeah, and I
about that.
remember Kate saying that also, and then I could be wrong, and I can clarify this for you guys, but I was under the assumption it would be like headstands, shoulder stands. More active than the restorative will come at the end. But they do have active inversions in here, but to be honest with you, it's not something I do in my classes.
Me either. I'll offer it if someone has practice in it. I'll be like, this would be the time, if you have an inversion practice that's safe,
Mhm.
then
Then go ahead.
go ahead,
Go
but-
for it.
yeah, otherwise,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Does it fit where you, like, is this kind of the sequence or
You know,
order?
There's actually one, sometimes I do wide-legged forward folding and I'll offer Shirsasana from that.
Okay,
But other than that, I almost always will give that space for an active inversion towards the end of the class. And this is
yeah,
A
at
little.
the end as well, yeah.
well, this is
This
not
is-
quite at the end, no.
it's kind of in the middle.
So I would
Okay.
say that when I offer it for my, when I do that wide-legged forward fold there, then it fits with the sequencing that Himalayan offers. But
Mhm.
I think because I'm not like usually cueing anything to go with it, I kind of leave it for at the end. Like if
Mhm.
someone wants that still, I almost always leave a minute or two before Shavasana in my practice to say, if there's anything in your practice that you're missing, that you haven't received, that you want, that you're looking for, please take that now.
Mhm.
And I will watch everyone because truthfully, sometimes people want to take shoulder stand and they're not doing it safely. So I will say something. If you take shoulder stand, make sure your hands are at the small of your back. So
Right,
it's
yeah. Yeah, it's unclear why, I mean, I think because they changed it and put it this way because it's more active and
Yeah.
more, you're still energized and you
energy, yeah.
still,
but if
You
the
know.
inversions, you're upside down. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so I don't know, we'll talk to Kate about that one, we won't touch on that too much, but I will, I'll mention that to her because I know, and mostly all the classes here, I don't think that they put the active in, I could be
I
wrong.
think Kate does.
She does?
She does like the dolphin planks
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right, she does, okay.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'll do that too. And that is almost always in the middle of the class too.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think just because exactly what we're talking about is if there's enough heat to sustain what you're doing,
Mhm.
right? Like you're kind of feeling like if there's like, I don't want to say like a place where you're floating. Do you guys ever feel like you're floating in your class? It's usually somewhere around there, right? You start to feel it if you haven't already. And
Yeah,
then you have more access to things like going upside down because your
Yeah,
breath
with more
is,
energy.
yeah, and your breath is in a rhythm and you're in your
Mhm.
practice usually. So hopefully you're focused and centered enough that
Right,
you can do it
right,
safely
yeah, that
and
makes
access
sense.
it.
Okay, all right, so thank you for that, guys. So the next section would be back bends. That would come after the abdominals, so, and after, if we throw in the active conversions. So, and the back bends are, well, you guys can tell me what you think are the benefits of the back bends.
Energizing,
Mhm.
little shot of.
Oh, yeah.
coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That Cobra Plus.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's good. And you're strengthening your back muscles,
I guess you're
you're
stretching your.
expanding the chest, the abdomen. so. Yeah, so, you have any questions?
It's
on
like,
that,
it's
Ben?
like, and you know, like stimulating the what are the adrenals back there, you know, that you're like massaging. And
Yeah.
and I'm wondering if, like, Nikki, your clarifying question has me thinking that it doesn't look like the book, like our manual goes into detail that I can tell about, you know, the energetics
Mhm.
of
Oh, it
the
doesn't?
sequence, like
Okay.
like the values and
Yeah,
how, you
right.
know, I
No,
just,
and we don't need to do that right now.
Yeah,
cover
yeah.
that, but yeah, but that will, yeah, so, yeah, I guess we could probably, you know, touch on each one, not as much, but, you know, just say the benefits of the sequence, pretty much. So the next one would be twists. So twists always come after back bends, and there's a reason for that. Can you guys tell me, does anyone want to share why we always do twists after back bends?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's
would it,
fine.
be like, you've just done, you know, the back bend, you've just
Mhm.
extended this way, and I guess part of it is a release of those spinal muscles that you
Exactly.
just.
Yep, you're releasing your lower back as
Mhm.
you twist. You don't want to come into a forward fold right after a back bend.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's, yeah, so I always try to, you know, sometimes even after a back bend, I'll even a lot of times come up into a cat cow
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
release it, you know, I always pay special attention. I don't know, maybe because I have some tenderness there, you know, but I always try to
Yes.
counter it by doing cat cow and then twist. So, okay, and then of course the next poses are the seated poses. And these are, you know, we're starting to slow down a little. What do you think are some of the benefits of the seated poses?
Like grounding down.
Grounding, right?
And I was thinking, like, in the, that third bullet point talks about preparation for meditation postures, and at that point, because seated postures are very hard if you're not warmed up and naturally
Mhm.
like flexible,
Oh,
so
yeah,
they need to be later in the
right,
class.
right, that makes sense, right? So you've
Mhm.
already done all that.
And you've used the spine in all of its directions.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's been exercised, so if you're, yeah. You're not gonna hurt yourself, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you're twisting, then your pelvis is.
And
Also
then,
kicked more stuff up, right? Like you've kind of gone through things in your
Yes.
practice and brought stuff up, so now you're kind of like bringing that out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe.
I know when I take a class, you know, when we come to the seated poses, it's just kind of like, oh, you know? Yeah, this feels good. This is like, because you're already, all that prana is moving and you're just like nice and open. And it's just like, I don't know, it's a feel good. Okay, and then we'll move into the forward bends. So these are very beneficial. We're calming our nervous systems. There's different forward bends that some don't feel as comfortable, but we can always, we're not talking about that right now. We're not breaking down the different forward bends.
Mhm.
But yeah, so, you know, and I have to say, I don't think I included a forward bend in my sequence today. But
We have forward folds.
yeah,
Not
not
seated.
seated, right, right. So, okay, and then the next one would be restorative inversions. So that would be, you know, more like legs up the wall or supported bridge. Supported fish. Yeah, I mean,
On two blocks.
yeah.
I don't think that's considered a version.
I think of it as a,
Towards the end of class, but
It's a
after,
back bend, which is.
Well, you're opening your
Parts
chest,
above the head,
your-
neck. Oh.
What is this?
I guess in a, like a yin posture where you're supported, but you're still, it's not like your
Yeah.
legs are up or,
You know, in the 200-hour manual, there was a list of them all. I think there was in here too. and-
but fish pose usually comes all the way at the end of a practice, so after the restorative inversions.
Sorry.
That's
I
okay.
listened fast forward.
That's okay, but it usually,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
usually been, but restorative inversions, they, you know, your circulation, you're bringing your fluids all down towards your heart and your brain, you know, so they're very, the lymph,
So reverse tabletop would not be a good one there,
no,
too active.
no, that wouldn't be, no, you wouldn't want to do that for your restorative. I would say that would be restorative. Okay. Okay, we'll see you shortly. Okay, and then the last thing being the systematic relaxation, and we pretty much all know the benefits of that. But I mean, if you'd like to, you know, it's basically letting go, balancing our nervous system, our hearts, our minds,
Mhm.
just all of that. And then we're preparing for meditation. So that was what we were wanting to revisit, the recommended. So, and then briefly, let's just go over the 3-step relaxation process. So just to get into the poses, that's something else that they wanted us to review. So what, can anyone share like the 3 steps to, so we're coming into the relaxation. So what is the first step that we would,
Comfort, body still.
Mhm.
Stillness.
Body stillness, yeah.
yep, body stillness, breath awareness,
And
and then the
then
last one,
it's either breath at the nose or just starting the systematic relaxation.
systematic relaxation.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the last one. So there's those 3. Okay, good. And then the meditation. There are 5 steps for the meditation process. So, and honestly, guys, I had to review this before I came tonight, because it's like, I mean, you do it, you know, without thinking, but yeah, there are actually 5 steps. So we want to make sure that we establish a neutral spine, be the first thing. Align the head and neck. This is probably in your books. but
It is,
maybe-
I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's on page 49. It's like the first 3 steps are the same as just the
Yeah,
systematic.
Exactly, stillness,
Mhm,
systematic, relaxed and effortless breathing,
mhm.
systematic relaxation. And then breath awareness in the nostrils.
Oh, there
Susanna.
we
So
go.
that's where you, yeah, it's the same, you know,
Yeah.
and pretty much even Shavasana, honestly, I always come to the nostrils,
Mhm.
same as meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one would be just rest your awareness in your mantra, if you have a mantra or practice.
Mhm.
So it's stillness, relaxed and effortless breathing, systematic relaxation, breath awareness in the nostrils, and resting your awareness in the mantra. So we've reviewed all of this, so that's
Awesome.
good.
Yeah, that was on the home sheet.
Yeah, so now we have some fun. We're gonna break it down into groups. So let's see, we have, how are we gonna do this?
When was Erin going to be back? Did she?
She said she just had to walk her son up to,
She has to walk home, then take him
Take him somewhere.
to band up. Watching band practice.
Okay.
yeah.
And then come back, and
She-
so I think it would take a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want,
She'll probably be gone for half an hour, I would guess.
yeah,
Mhm.
should the 3 of us work together? Or should
Um,
we just do 2?
why don't we? Yeah, let's see, how can we do this?
What are we doing?
Well, we know Erica and Nikki are gonna, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you, you know how there's different classes where we'll have different focuses. Like tonight, you know, I kind of focused on digestion. We are going to put together, and there's different categories. So we're gonna create a sequence using following the HI sequence. And let's see, we have one for runners. So developing a sequence for runners. Manette, would you like to do that?
Oh, didn't have skiers on that list, did you?
Do you want skiers? I don't care. You can have skiers.
I'll take skiers.
Okay,
Yeah.
athletes, why don't we say athletes? Oh,
Feeling fine.
okay, all right. So we'll have you work on that, and then when Erin comes, then she'll help you. Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
And then what we're gonna do is just take some time to develop, you know, design a sequence.
Okay.
And then we'll go around and talk about our sequence once we gather back together. And one of you can be a spokesperson and the reasoning why. So Susanna and Anna,
Yeah.
Susanna and Anna,
I know.
Anna Banana.
Anna Banana.
Susanna, Anna
Or should we do Erica and Nikki first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Erica and Nikki. I'll give you guys a choice, honestly, because I have so many categories. So, would you like teachers or caregivers? Kind of like the same.
Thank you.
Or children.
What do you think, Erica?
I don't know. I'm open, honestly. I'm pretty open to any of those.
Let's do caregivers.
Okay,
A good one.
so Anna Banana and Susanna Banana. Uh-oh. we have-
Nothing.
Oh,
We're good.
okay.
We're here. We're here.
Okay, all right. So we have some time to work on this, so, you know, what, 15 minutes or so?
Okay.
Okay, so you guys, you have a choice of teachers. Well, let's skip teachers, 'cause I think teachers and caregivers kind of fall into the same.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah,
mean,
I
not-
think
not
they
in a
could.
way. but-
Yeah, I think teachers would be, the entire class would be stress reduction.
Caregivers too, so that's not what
Okay, so how about either teens, children, men, seniors, or beginners? I had a lot prepared here, so.
You're good, Susan. I like it.
Well,
I like it.
What are,
Why
does
did I
anything
do that?
resonate with you?
Not necessarily
Do you want to do teams?
Sure, I was
And-
thinking teams might.
Okay.
okay, good. So if you want to find a little section, do you guys have any questions on it? Nikki, Erica?
Are there any guidelines or limitations? Is there anything we should be aware of? And also, how long of a class?
Oh, okay. So let's put it together where we're not gonna actually, when you're finished, we're not gonna do the class. You're just gonna tell me what, just kind of reading it, telling me why, you know, telling the group why. That, so let's say, design it for an hour class. And trying to follow the HI sequence, but, you know, sometimes you might want to spend more time in warm-ups or more time in, you know, or, you know, modifications. So just what you think, if you went to teach a class for caregivers, you know, what do you feel that they really would benefit from?
Are they new? Are they new yoga practitioners, or do they have
Yeah,
experience?
Let's say that they're new to yoga, totally new. We could say that you're going into a, I don't know, rest home or, you know, and teaching. Just for
Okay,
self-care.
and
Stop as I come on.
I have two more questions.
Sure, go ahead.
What time of year? Like for now?
But yeah, let's do fall, yeah.
And are we gonna teach them a class during the day or in the like early evening, like right now?
Let's do during the day.
Okay,
Let's do during the day, yeah. Oh, these are gonna be good.
Thanks for helping.
Yes.
I need, thanks for helping us narrow
So the teens, I guess they could be during school,
during school day.
Okay.
yeah, and,
Yeah, because they're asleep in the morning.
yeah. And they are also, yeah, they're teens, well, yeah. So,
You want to sit outside and
sure,
talk?
you can.
And Nikki and Erica, do you, there is this feature of breakout rooms, if you wanted that. If not, we can just leave you the way you are.
can you set it up or do you need to set it up because you're on the admin side?
I should be able to set it up. It says, create a breakout room, assign automatically 2 participants will be in there. We could try it, and if it doesn't work, you can just
Oh, thanks, Susie.
come back in. It just for you to
Okay.
have more privacy
Yeah.
if you wanted.
Or we
Yeah,
could,
that'd be great.
or we could all
Well,
leave the room too.
Then you guys don't have to hear us. I think we're probably pretty loud.
No,
Blah, blah, blah.
and if that doesn't work, guys, we can all just leave and go different rooms out here. So no one's gonna be in here.
Okay, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
All right,
Here.
here we go.
thank you.
That should take you there.
should we take it off the recording for now?
Oh, yeah. There we go. Now they're in their breakout rooms. Good.
Oh,
And
good.
then there's that. And then